Welcome back to JNTV. I'm Matt Montgomery along with new Jacksonville ISD Superintendent Dr. Chad Kelly. Dr. Kelly, welcome to Jacksonville. Glad you're here and glad you could join us today on JNTV.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be in Jacksonville ISD. I'm working with some great people at the central office, and our school board is one of the best school boards in the state of Texas. So I'm really privileged to come into such a great, already existing structure for academic excellence in Jacksonville ISD.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your background in a few minutes, but you've been here several weeks, and I know just kind of coming into a new town like this and trying to, just kind of feel your way around, not just the school district and all, but just the town and getting a feel. What are your overall impressions so far of Jacksonville? I know you came here for interviews and things like that, but once you got in here and settled, your thoughts on being here now?
Well, first of all, I wish I was down here and settled in my house. We're doing construction on our house right now, and so we're not actually in the house. But the city of Jacksonville has been very accepting. I'm already a member of Rotary. They've accepted me with open arms. I actually gave my first Rotary speech. And just the town in general, it has all you need. I mean, so if I want to go to Walmart, I got Walmart. If I want to go to Brookshire Brothers, I go to Brookshire Brothers. So it's kind of it's a large town with a small town atmosphere, and I really enjoy that.
Of course, your wife's not here yet, and
Not yet.
she's still down in South Texas. When can we expect to meet your wife when she comes up, and I guess toward the end of the school year?
Actually, no, it's going to be before that. We actually have our closing date on our house on May 14th, and so she'll be following the moving truck, and she'll be here with our furniture on May 15th, and we should be settled in our new house at that time.
Great, great. Talk a little bit about your background. Share with our viewers about yourself, where you came from, how you got to Jacksonville, Texas.
Well, I'm a South Texas native. I'm born and raised in Corpus Christi, Texas, to my two great parents, Paul and Linda Kelly. My mom was an elementary principal for a very long time. Great lady. She has her doctorate in education. And I graduated actually from Stephen F. Austin, so I have some experience in South Texas or in East Texas. When I was about to graduate, I majored in geology and minored in business administration. I was going to go be a geologist. What happened was that my mom said, will you please go back and get your teacher certificate just so you can fall back on something? And I did, and then lo and behold, I became a teacher, and I have not changed my career path since. Wow. And so yeah, a Ray High School graduate, played football at Ray High School, and then of course went to Stephen F. Austin, and it was just, that's kind of my educational background. I've been a campus teacher, I've been an assistant principal, and I've been a high school principal of 3 different high schools, and of course most recently I just completed 8 years in Taft ISD as their superintendent. And
our viewers may have known this, but you were also named Superintendent of the Year in that area too, the state of Texas, I should say. So that had to be pretty exciting right there with some of the things that y'all did at Taft.
To be honored among 42 other superintendents in South Texas, or be considered a Superintendent of the Year with 42 other very quality superintendents, that's a big honor. And I was humbled by that, actually. The state of Texas has 20 Superintendents of the Year in each region, so they have 20 regions. I did not make the state Superintendent of the Year, but it was a very good process, and I was just very flattered that I was nominated, and my board actually nominated me, and then through an interview process was selected as Region 2's Superintendent of the Year.
And that's one of the things that caught our school board's eye when they had you in the mix, and obviously did want you to come to Jacksonville, was what did you guys do down at Taft to get that kind of recognition? What do you think was the linchpin for them to recognize your district?
Well, obviously there's many things that we did together as a team of 8. When I talk about a team of 8, that's our school board, 7 members, and myself as a superintendent. And then of course our staff members were phenomenal in Taft. What we did over the last 8 years is change the culture of that community to be focused on education and to take pride in everything that we do. So we also grew the gift, meaning we challenged students to participate in extracurricular activities, art activities, anything that was a challenge or a competition. We threw our kids in there. And through that 8-year process, we went from not participating in a lot of activities to all of a sudden 80% of our students participating in an extracurricular activity and being successful and being winners. And so we brought that pride back to Taft, the educational pride, and the communities around us realized that. And so we did a great job there, but it was not just because of me, it was because of a great team.
So why Jacksonville? What brought you here to Jacksonville? I know you shared with me when I first met you that, hey, Jacksonville has a reputation. I've heard of Jacksonville. A lot of people have. Share a little bit about what you meant by that.
Well, the process of a superintendent changing jobs usually starts with an advertisement of a district. Now, Jacksonville ISD, being the location 6 hours north of where I grew up, was not on my radar. I was called by basically a superintendent headhunter and asked me to apply. Well, when he did that, I researched Jacksonville ISD and found what a solid school district it was. You're financially stable. Your scores are above state standards and state averages. Your facilities are new. So it was like, why wouldn't I want to come to Jacksonville? Y'all have it going on. You know what's happening, and your school board gets it. And the community is lucky to have a Jacksonville ISD in the community. The teachers are phenomenal through the scores. And so all those together made me want to apply for Jacksonville because of its educational excellence that was already here.
You've arrived at a time in Jacksonville, and especially in the school district part, where it's kind of a momentum shift. And a lot of the momentum shift has been created by facilities. And you know, obviously, when you look at the scores, the test scores of our elementary schools all the way up to the high school, they're impressive. But then when you came to Jacksonville before, you kind of say, man, these schools, they need some work here. Well, that work's been done. And of course, West Side will be opened this fall. You got the work over at Nichols. Share with our viewers where the ISD is right now as far as those facilities, and how impressed you've been with that work that's been going on.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you how impressed I am with the community for passing the 2 bonds that created all these new schools. That's first and foremost needs to be identified as one of the most special things that a community can give back to their students is updated facilities. So we are going to be in West Elementary School, moving in sometime in June, and that project should be complete. It needs to stop raining.
Yeah.
And I can't control that. But it's going on, and the contractors say it's going to be complete. Nichols is complete. We're actually moved into Nichols now, the actual addition of band hall and those science classrooms. I think what we need to do now as a community and as the Jacksonville ISD, we need to start focusing on our sports facilities. We want to make sure that we have upgraded sports facilities such as a track at Malden Field, and make sure the Tomato Bowl remains our varsity football stadium. But there does need to be work in that facility, and we also need to find additional parking. I'm hoping that I can work with the community and community agencies to assist in that effort.
Yeah, and interesting, I mean, this is not official yet, just total, but I know that the city and the chamber and the Jacksonville Independent School District have all kind of reached out to each other to talk about Tomato Bowl, because it is a historical monument, it is the center of town, it is the talk of a lot of people, not just in East Texas, but all over Texas, being one of the few downtown stadiums that are left. A lot of people love Tomato Bowl, and I know that when you came in here, that was one of the things that caught your eye, and you say, we're not changing that venue, but we just want to improve it.
Absolutely, it does need some improvement. We need to make sure we have ADA accessibility for people that need that access to our stadium. We don't want to exclude anybody. We definitely need to upgrade the dressing rooms and the prep rooms for not only for our athletes but the visiting athletes.
Yeah.
And then of course just an overall makeover of that facility, and
course,
keeping the historical marker.
Absolutely, and that's something that it has to go into it too. There's only certain things that you can do. You can't touch the walls. I mean, you got to kind of leave those intact, and that's what you want to do. Girls' facilities too, athletically. I know there's some stuff going on there too that's really positive.
Absolutely, there's a girls' dressing room and recreation activity room, and so it could be where the cheerleaders go in and do cheers and
Charmers.
The Charmers can go in there and do their thing, and also a new mat room for all of athletics is be in that facility, and of course the girls athletics and Charmers and cheerleaders will all have their own space in that facility. We're on 80% of the design plans and architectural plans, and we should be talking about cost of those plans at our Monday board meeting.
Right, and of course Malden Field is built in 1978. Really has struggled to keep the track for a lot of reasons intact. There's a lot of water runoff and things that has to be redone, but that's on the radar too to get fixed up. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Let's talk about leadership of your campuses, because that's one thing that's been really strong in Jacksonville, and a lot of credit to the scores that Jacksonville's been able to achieve. Not a lot of turnover, had a little bit last year, but you know the thing about Jacksonville, and I know you'll discover this, is when Jacksonville loses principals, it's because they've done so well and they've been able to move on to a bigger position, and that happens. So your overall impressions of the leadership right now, I know you've been impressed with some of the things you've already seen.
I am thoroughly impressed with the leadership of the campuses right now. You have very strong, academically focused principals, and that is the mark of a great district. And I have not seen any flaws in our principals at this point. They know what they're doing. They're very educationally focused, and they are driven by student success. And that's very impressive to be a part of.
What's the driving thing right now for you as the superintendent to get, I know you have a lot of things on your plate, but what if there was something that you looked at and you said, this is something we need to get on right now? What would that be?
I think the biggest driving thing is to continue our relationship with our community. And that's the biggest thing that I want to focus on, to make sure that I'm known in the community, that parents know me and know who I am, and that therefore I'm a representative of our district. And if I can get out there, then our students get out there. And that's the one thing that I want to make sure we focus on is being part of our community through our students, through our administrators, and of course through me and our board.
Well, of course, a lot of the issues that Jacksonville had in the past, getting bond issues passed, was that relationship with the community that wasn't there. But as I said earlier, there's a momentum shift. Things have changed, and financially the district is in good shape. They've done some great things there, and I know you're happy about that coming in.
Yes, absolutely. The finances of this district are amazing. They're being run by Lindy Finley, who's one of the best business managers in the state of Texas. Yeah. That's one of those people that tries to get recruited, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that she is happy here and continues her great efforts.
That happens every year. You just have to get used to that.
I know, and I'll deal with it.
Have a new coach and athletic director. That was a big position that you just filled with Wayne Coleman.
Absolutely. Coach Coleman coming in here is, experienced with Jacksonville, already knows the community, be part of the community, knows the kids. I'm excited about that hire, and I'm excited about some of the coaches he's talking about bringing in that also have ties to the community, and so we're looking forward to making those announcements soon.
Well, we want to get you back here on JNTV when things happen, and you want to kind of fill our viewers in on what's going on in the school district. Sometimes things don't get out like they need to be told, and we'd like for you to come back.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And Jacksonville ISD is a wonderful educational facility for all of our students. And so the city of Jacksonville is just very lucky that their local school district is so phenomenal.
Well, that'll do it here on JNTV. For Dr. Chad Kelly, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on JNTV.